6 months ago, I went to town on my silver birches. I absolutely cut them right back to bare wood. And do you know what? A number of people said I was a fool and they said I'd killed my trees. Well, at the time, I was very confident. And now you're going to see exactly why. And perhaps a few of you can keep some of those knowledgeable comments to yourself. Was that passive aggressive? To find out, keep watching because you are going to enjoy just what's happened to both the silver birches that I went to town on. That's the smaller one. Hi, it's Xavier and welcome to my bonsai retreat. And for me, this is a special edition. It isn't going to be particularly long, but it's important because I've been doing bonsai for over 25 years. I've been doing YouTube for at least 4 years. And yes, I know that came across passive aggressive. Probably was in a little way. 99% of you follow me, understand that if I think I'm doing something risky, I normally say it a number of times during the video. And I'll often say to you, why don't you wait till next year, find out if it works before you try it yourself. Well, do you know what? This silver birch, I had absolutely no qualms at all. The only qualms I did have is that the way it looked had reached a dead end, an impasse. I could go no further. And I think probably the best way is let's just remind ourselves how this did look, how hard I pruned, and then let's reacquaint ourselves with how it's looking now. This was originally dug up in 2015 and was just probably a 2-foot sapling, and really had no idea how to develop it, what to do with it. So, well, we all know what we do when we'd like that. We leave it. But eventually it's been in and out of the walls, and there's probably about 6 or so videos devoted to this one. And what I'm going to do in this instance, I'm going to literally take everything right back to maybe 2, 3 buds that are right back here. I know we've had all this growth, but what I don't want in 2026 is the new growth to come from way out here and then shoot out. I need to be constantly trying to push the growth back in closer to the trunk. Only then am I going to be able to achieve a much thicker, more ramified and believable bonsai structure. So as I say, all these buds here, the terminal one there, then loads back here, all very well, but they're nearly a foot away from the tree. We don't want any of those. If we look closer in, we could actually remove all of this. And if we look in here, 1, 2, and on this side, there's another bud there. And it's almost hard to tell they're buds. You almost think they're just growths or whatever. But these are the ones I really want to send some shoots out. Hey, this isn't anything to look at right this moment, but even I can look at that and go, wow, there's a really nice, strong primary, perhaps a few secondary structure going on there. And I just can't wait to see this in spring 2026. Well, I don't think there can be much doubt that the silver birch responded probably at least exactly as I thought it would, but truthfully, much better than I thought it would. And if any of you had watched me around the sort of early January time, I think I did a garden video there where I actually thought this was dead. I thought it had failed, and I think I'll say that now. I'm normally pretty open, and I'm open pretty quickly if something goes horribly wrong. It's part of the journey, it's part of what I like sharing with everyone. I'm not an expert, you know that, but I've actually got quite a bit of experience. Silver birch are a UK native, and they root from anything. You'll see them all over the place. I've got loads of silver birch sprouting up in many pots, and normally I'd take them away as a bit of a weed. Everyone says they're difficult. They drop branches. And yeah, they drop branches. As soon as the tree decides it's not worth putting the energy into it, it says, bye-bye, I'm going to shove my energy elsewhere. But equally, as you can see down here, and in areas here and here, it is just as happy to replace the branches it has lost. So you've seen how it's responded. Loads and loads of healthy, happy growth. What we're going to do now is we're going to remove all these shoots and suckers. I'm going to go have a look around here, remove stuff that's coming from crotches. You know the routine. I'm going to pick my 2 best new shoots. I'm going to feed it heavily, and then I'm going to let it grow. I'll show you a couple of examples, and then we'll come back to the finished product. I mean, I actually love this base. It's got interest. It shows it. It tells a story. And for most of us, as enthusiasts or hobbyists, that's what we're all about, the story. So I'm going to continue to remove these suckers away, because what we don't want is our prize bonsai throwing energy in places it doesn't want, in places that we don't want it to live. And you can see just here where we've got that lovely white look of the silver birch that is so attractive with this tree. Someone once asked, how long does it take to get that silver bark? And normally, if it's healthy, got a root there that's broken, so we'll get rid of that. If it's healthy, it'll normally about 10 years of growth. Look at this, isn't that really lovely and impressive? I'll probably put some Deadwood preserver on that area there, but let's just do that right now. And this I get from Xavier Bonsai, and the whole idea there, it's got a linseed oil, quite a natural ingredient mixed to it. It's a secret ingredient that he used. I think it's Graham Potter's recipe, and that's just to ensure that we've got a bit in here as well that we don't, where there's potentially rotting, we do everything possible to ensure the rotting doesn't get any worse. And that's actually going a lot further up into there, so something to watch out for. In fact, while we're looking at the Deadwood aspect, many of you know I did quite a lot of work filling in what was a very, very deep cavity in the trunk here. It went down to about there. And I drilled it and got it cleaned right out. And then I used an industrial, a two mix putty, which I used to fill that hole properly. And it's still looking really good, and has stopped the rot, so to speak. So, when you get those sort of cavities developing, unless you're intending to hollow out the entire tree, and I can say with the silver birch that that's quite successful. In fact, shall I show you just how successful it is? This thing can live on literally one live vein going down the outside, because this big 4-foot silver birch that I got from Ryan Halton originally had a nice big round cylindrical trunk like that. And then that I found mushroom fungal rot, which basically rotted through 3/4 of the trunk, and really it went right through the core. All we've got is a little section just here, but this has been going now quite happily for 18 months. I did some hardener work on that, and we've got loads of green growth. So I tell you what, your silver birch, no matter what people say, even if branches drop on them or the trunk starts to rot, I think I've got some perfect examples of, if you persevere, if you do the protection on them, then you can keep your prize tree for a very, very long time. This great big thing, it's got a long way to go. It's certainly subject to a bigger time lapse. And in fact, if you like silver birch and you want to see how this one gets on, then you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, bell notifications. You know that YouTube is not pushing bonsai content to bonsai people. YouTube's deciding what you want to watch, not listening to what you say you want to watch. So hopefully that's going to give you just a bit of credibility about how trusting I am of the durability of silver birch, certainly in the UK, where, as I say, they're almost a weed. But I do need to just still continue to do the hardwood preserver. Just stay on top of any potential issues that may arise. Because I tell you what, the moment you forget or you miss a treatment, it's no different than fertilizer or indeed bug spray. It will come back and bite you hard, and the only thing that suffers is your tree. I've been using this now for 3 years, really good stuff. Smells nice too. If you like cricket and you've greased up your cricket bat, you know exactly what's on this stuff. And so looking over the tree, we follow this branch out. What was I looking to achieve? Well, I wanted to bring this back. I cut that right back a lot. I just wanted 2 shoots, and I've got 2 shoots. These are still quite young. I won't wire them yet, but I think coming into the autumn, winter time, I will wire them downwards. I can probably cut back a little bit last year's cut site, and then really let those grow and thicken. It may well be that later on, in another year, I might even cut it back further, or indeed remove it entirely. You know, that's one of the issues I'm not too sure about, but what this is doing is providing a route for good life-giving sap flows to come up here, around here. It's helping with the wound healing around here, and also encouraging a live vein to go up this way. So keeping that helps keep this area alive. What I don't want is dieback going all the way further down. Another reason for keeping that branch. Higher up the tree, we've also cut there, and that's caused a budding here, which has got a nice stagger on it. Really like it. And really, I'm probably, in fact, let's not say probably, a nice strong shoot there, but let's cut that back. And I want energy to go into these. Later in the year, I will probably cut these back a lot closer in, like I did last year. Because the birch can be moody, I am going to just put some cut paste on the ends. Let's do everything we can to stop this branch giving up on everything. And again, once these get stronger, I will probably wire them a little bit down. What you can see we don't need though, is we've got a very healthy shoot here. Let's get rid of that one. And we've got something in the crotch growth. So I'm going to clean all these, and silver birch are renowned for growth within the crotches. As you can see, just there as well. Get rid of them, they waste energy. Here again, we've got a little right low down, we've got a nice staggered branching coming from this. There's the original cut there, and it's produced 1, 2, 3 shoots, good staggering. I could be tempted to cut all the way back to there, but this one is relatively close to there. So what I'm probably going to do for now is the one that's right close in is always going to get in the way, so I'm going to remove it. Looking here, we've got the same thing. That's produced 1, 2, 3 and an upward shoot. Let's get rid of the upward one. And for now, we'll let those grow. And this has responded very, very well. Same principles. You want the lower stuff to get more and more energy. The only way you're going to do that is by controlling the top. And look at this great big shoot here. That's doing better than this one. It's actually nearly twice as thick. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? We all know bad thing. I don't want to insult your intelligences, so I'm going to cut it all the way back to there. I'm also going to remove that leaf. Removing leaves is also a way of promoting budding further back. There's a little shoot just here. I'd like that one to come out. We've got here this one that's going upwards. I might actually remove that entire branch because we've got a nice little shoot there. I will, in this instance, shorten and remove growing tips. It may still put a second flush that'll come out much tighter, much weaker. Hopefully everything will go down there. Sorry, what was that? You're quite right. It wasn't universally successful. There were some branches that turn around and say, Xav, that was too hard. And I'll show you them now because, well, I told you, I always tell you the truth about what goes on in the retreat. I didn't get the response here, which I wanted. But funny enough, there is, I think, a little micro bud there. So what I'm going to do is one, check it's alive. Still very green in there. So if those are indeed active buds that just haven't had any energy or anything put into them, my view is by cutting the ends off like that, it's all green, that may well activate one of those. So I may still get a shoot out of that. And as I say, out of all the cuts I did, the only other one was this branch here. And again, there's a little bud there that may shoot. So I'll do the same thing. I'll cut there to see if it's alive. And less inclined to think that's alive. But for now, we'll leave it. That one's looking a little brown. It's hard to tell because it's quite close in my eyesight. It's pretty poor. So there you go. There's all the areas it didn't work. Those two little spots, both of which have got buds on them, I'm sure will pop. Which means I can quietly say I did that reckless action, and 5 months later, 6 months later, 100% revival, 100% better vigor, got lots of 2s and 3s that's going to allow me to build closer, tighter ramification. This is going to be a tree I think we're really going to love seeing in a few years' time. Okay, well there you go. It's been brought right back in. I've left these shoots long. I want them to continue to go out. I have applied a bit of wire. I've anchored it to the one at the back, and that's just, I just want to start that process of pulling these down a little bit as the weight of them improves as they grow out through the summer. I imagine that's going to naturally bring them down anyway. So we've got these branching out, really happy with that. Only thing I probably point out, I mean, this isn't the most attractive, but you know what? It's how it's grown. I actually haven't wired any of that at any point. So when I dug it up originally back in 2015, that was the way the structure already was. So it did happen naturally. But equally, I think I also accept I'd probably want something to go off this way, to create more up here, more here, to just stop it looking so skinny. It's being rebuilt. That was why I did the work last year. This is the first stage reward of that work. Only one thing left to do to this really. Just going to sprinkle a bit of general purpose balanced fertilizer, and I get this from the industrial gardening centres, and it works perfectly well. It's not Japanese, it's not Chinese, but it certainly does the job. It certainly does the job. So yeah, really happy with that. Now I have taken a reasonable amount of foliage off, so as I always do, certainly this time when we're moving into the summer, we're going to get really hot weather. What I don't want to do is tax this tree unnecessarily, so it will go into an area that probably gets dappled sunlight, certainly not the full bore heat from midday. Right, come on, let's have a look at that challenging one and just see how that responded. Did it respond as well? And actually, while we're down here dealing with silver birch, apologies for my white legs, can't be helped, I'm getting old. Look at this thing. This was probably earlier in the year, you saw it was almost a 6-foot tree getting well out of control. Well, Jelle had some incredible ideas, and he challenged me to certainly an interesting solution to this and how I can still make it into a bonsai rather than a garden tree. Shall we have a listen to see what Jelle told me?
Why don't you do something with that?
Well, I'm going to have to cut the bottom off, aren't I? So I'll have to cut all those roots off.
Have you ever seen Nagari style birch?
No.
Me neither.
Tell you
Well,
what.
it's not a typical bonsai style for birch, right, to do Nagari. But if you like to be experimental and do something different.
And now clearly I've shown you this because it's going to take some time. It's a project I'm actually quite excited about. And I want you to know it's part of the channel. It's something that, again, you'll be seeing within one of the time-lapse modules. But I cut this pretty hard, only 8 days ago, even that. Do you want to see how this silver birch responded to that treatment? Absolutely incredible, those buds. So again, it's a native of the UK. It loves this country, and it loves it when you prune it, if the roots are healthy. And with that thing, the roots are about 6 foot down. That's going to be an interesting job next year. This is the second one, and you'll remember when I actually had to hollow this right out. Well, again, the wood hardener's done the treatment. It's helped out. It's got this really, really odd, very, very difficult, almost like arms stuck to the back. It's like wings on a body. It doesn't look natural. Many people suggested cut one of the branches off and just go ahead with the other. Do you know what? That's my front. That's what I love. That's what I'm going to continue with. Probably on this one, there has been just a few more branches that didn't like that treatment. But as you can see, more than enough did to make it a success. Oh, there is one thing. Tell you what, the videos are rolling up and I'm getting them backlogged. If you haven't touched your Japanese larch yet, and as I say, we're just coming to the end of May, then you need to get in there. If you want to get that opportunity for at least 2 prunes, if not maybe 3, then you've definitely now got to be doing your larch. And you look at Labrador Larch Mountain, all of those are going to be going all the way back to just 2 viable new shoots. But really, you won't see the video for, I reckon, 2 weeks. So if you want to know what to do with your larches, have a look at that one. Don't look at it now. Get it open on your browser and have a look. Because I tell you what, I think many people would agree, I'm probably one of the better people to watch for Larch. Pinocchio? I don't know. Have a look at my Larch playlist, but definitely don't forget your Larches. If you haven't done them yet, you definitely want to be looking at them. So let's have a look and see what didn't work with the hard prune on this. Now in this instance, we actually had a number of things on this side. I really needed this branch. I can't see any signs of buds. I'm going to cut it a little bit. It's looking brown. I'm going to cut it a little bit more. Still brown. Further back, brown. So that one didn't make it, but we have got green there. Again, you can see we've got this one here. But if you're looking close, there's micro buds. They're actually going to be much better for me. So I'm going to cut that stub off now. And that's dead there as well. But again, looking in close, there appears to be a bud there, and indeed a bud there. If that one comes out horizontally, that is going to be absolutely perfect and better than the original one there. So yeah, I'll be watching those two with much glee and joy. And just spinning round on the back side here, this looks like this branch didn't. Hopefully there's some life in it. No, that's the same colour as a well-cooked bit of toast or cookie, so I'm going to just take it all the way back. But we have got green there. It would probably heal and roll over perfectly naturally on its own, but as I say, I don't want the tree to throw a strop right now, so let's give it every reason to heal over properly. Oh, we've got one up here. Again, what that's telling me is this branch is probably the weaker of the two, although I can see what I think is a little bud there. Yeah, a bit of life there. That probably was a bud. It's too far out, so I didn't want it. Okay, I'm now going to go, oh, here we go again, here as well. And that is dead, so I'm going to cut that back. Yeah, we've got definitely got a few more deader bits, but equally, there's still lots and lots of strong growth to support this tree going forward. So I'm just going to do the same process with this and then come back to you and show you how it's looking. I've definitely got a lot more healthy growth to work with than I did in 2025, which for me makes it a win. Hey, it's not the prettiest, but you know, that's going to develop. I'm going to continue to have pads here, have this growing here. And as I say, having been able to bite it back and get some ramification just a little bit closer in and further back, I'm quietly confident. Again, same thing. Although the Deadwood seems to be nice and dry there within that uru, is it an uru, a hollow? I am just going to apply another coat of that. Just keep on top of it. I don't ever want that rotting out further. Anyone asking why that's white? I tried a little experiment with super glue to harden so that I could get those tips and that. It works, but it stains it white, so I'd never ever do that again. I think there's a video all about it, but it's a precautionary video rather than anything else. But I think in that video, it also showed me hollowing out the bigger silver birch trunk. So definitely that could be worth watching. It'll be in the Silver Birch playlist, which is in the description. Why do I ever say short videos? No such thing in my bonsai retreat. General purpose, balanced fertilizer feed. Balance means I think it's pretty well a 777, like I did with the other. Put that into a shady spot, especially now as you can see the sun's coming out and burning those knees. Gosh, that's not a very good sight, is it? Look, I've got loads and loads of silver birches, little marmot ones that have come off stumps and little bits that have been, I've basically cut the entire trunk. I can't overrate how much fun and how versatile they are. Just be ready to accept the fact that you can end up losing a branch, but I've lost branches on lots of trees, even with Chinese elms. So just make sure you've got a backup ready to go. I think I've shown you, you can prune these hard in the autumn and the tree will forgive you and give you loads and loads of growth. I think I've shown that they respond well so long you look after Deadwood. You've seen that one that's basically got no trunk, just the outer the outer cambium layer, that 4-foot one, that's doing brilliantly. You've seen the one that's got the hollow out, the trunk that's hollowed out. Just so you do the wood treatment process, it's fine. You've seen how it responds to all that pruning, and you've seen what I've done now at the end of May. And you know what? Now is a great time to be pruning those silver birches. I'm not going to put you through the pain of this or these or that. Cuttings, never had any success at all trying to do silver birch cuttings. But if you've got silver birch in the area, they will be like oak. They'll be all over the ground sending up new shoots. So just go collecting later in the year. Got to remind you, please, 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 I can't keep these videos going out quick enough. We are prime time for pruning your larches, for pruning all your deciduous. The process is no different than what you've seen with the silver birch. And as I said, with the larch, you definitely want to stay around. In fact, that's the video you can watch right now for your larch. Apart from that, happy bonsai and God bless. Cheers.